friends. Welcome back to the Ohio podcast. Some of you may know me. I gotta save that for the show. That's
Yeah. Keep that there.
okay. I gotta save that for the show. Let's do it. Let's do it. Little tickle, pickle, pickle tickling. You want a pickle tickling?
Oh, fuck, I do not want to go back to work tomorrow.
Don't go. Stay here with me.
Fuck it.
Let's get married. Let's run off and do something crazy. Let's get married. We can do that now.
Sweet.
All right. You agreed to it. You can't fucking
No takesy backsies.
no take backsies.
What's up, pussies?
What's up, motherfucker? Yeah. All right. Let's send it. Let's start this episode. Let's send it. Hi there, welcome back to the Ohio podcast. Some of you may know.
Sorry.
Sorry, my friend's dropping beer cans over here the corner of the
Trying to find the perfect beer.
Hi there, welcome back to the Ohio studios. Welcome back to the Cream Spot, Project Penis. I'm one half of Project Penis. They call me the Delicious Nickalicious.
And I am the ball sack and taint of that package, Rob Dog.
Well, that was kind of vulgar, Rob Dog, for us trying to switch this to a church show where
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
can reach out from. We're going to help out the various ministries, especially the gay ministries, where they can have a place for boys to come and spend time and talk about stuff. If that's you, send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. January 4th, 1999. What's significant about that date, Robert Dog?
Nothing.
Wrong. 22 years ago today, the channel changed. Do you know what that means?
I have no idea. What does that mean?
Tony Schiavone smirkingly looked into the camera. He had information that the WWF had recorded their episode of Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
They were at a maximum capacity crowd in the Georgia Dome, 60,000 people, with the main event. It was going to be Bill Goldberg versus Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash had defeated Bill Goldberg once before and ended the streak. It was going to be the biggest night in WCW history.
Mm-hmm.
They got wind that the recorded episode of Monday Night Raw, Mick Foley, Mrs. Foley's baby boy, indeed won the World Heavyweight Championship.
Good for
So
him.
what did Tony Schiavone do? Strict orders from Eric Bischoff. He looked into the camera. He said, I have information. Monday Night Raw was recorded. And it was the Worcester Center.
Yeah.
And Mick Foley will be winning the WWF Championship tonight. That'll really put some butts in the seats. You know what? That night,
It's so scandalous.
the channel changed for good. Monday Night Raw had not beaten WCW in the ratings
Right.
in many, many months.
Yeah.
Nielsen ratings said that in that instant, in that moment that he said that, several 100,000 people changed the channel from Monday Nitro to WWF Raw.
Who didn't like Mick Foley? I mean, that completely,
of all time.
that completely backfired in Eric Bischoff's face.
Mrs. Foley's baby boy, Mr. Sacco himself,
How could you not like Mick Foley?
brought home the gold that night.
Who did he beat?
The Rock
Was it The Rock?
in his fucking silk jumpsuit.
Nice.
Do you know what the main event was for WCW that night? Because Bill Goldberg, they ran a fucking shitty ass story that originally it was a storyline that he raped Miss Elizabeth.
I remember that.
He wouldn't go along with it.
Yeah.
It was that he abused her.
Yeah.
They took him to jail. So then someone had to fill in for Bill Goldberg. Who was it? Hulk Hogan. They did the finger poke of doom where Kevin Nash poked him in the chest.
That's right.
Or
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan poked him in the
And he took
Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
He went over.
Kevin Nash fell on his back.
He put him
Hogan
over.
pinned him. The weakest main event in all wrestling history. Could have been one of the biggest matches in all wrestling history.
Yeah.
They fucking ruined it.
They just let him do the finger. I remember the finger poke of doom. Yeah.
The night the channel changed for good.
Lights out.
If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm sorry you're still here. I'm sorry you had to stick around and listen to that. But
I'm glad this is history.
It is history.
Was history.
I'm a goddamn wrestling historian. It's still real to me, damn it.
Bischoff, you done fucked up bad that time. Well, I guess he did make out okay because he still ended up getting hired by Vince McMahon.
60,000 people in the Georgia Dome. Raw was recorded in front of 7,000 people at the Worcester Center.
Damn, that was it.
Yes, it was a tape show.
Right.
Mick Foley said that his kids didn't even know that he won the title that night. And when they were watching the show together, 1, 2, 3, he wins the title. He went to the back room, grabbed the fucking title out of his suitcase, brought it out, and showed it to his kids. They had no idea.
That's awesome.
He said they were running around the house. Was it Noel and I can't remember the stupid kid's name, but they were running around with the title, parading it around.
That's awesome.
I bet an awesome moment for a dad, right?
Oh,
there.
for sure, definitely.
Oh,
especially during that time. That's the golden era of wrestling.
So was. Let's say thank you to our Patreon subscribers.
Sure.
Nathan, thank you, Nathan. Nate, the great buddy. We appreciate you.
Is that Alden Vaught?
Yeah, I think you nailed that one. That's a tough last name. It's short, but it's tricky. Next, we have Shane Freeman. Shane Freeman, thank you so much for your Patreon pledge.
Ryan O'Doyle rules.
I bet you've never heard that one before.
Never.
Bradley Edwards. Bradley, thank you for everything you have done for me in the past, including what you're going to do for me later.
And speaking of stuff you ever heard before, but things that on the complete opposite end, I hear all the time. Lil Schnitzel. Thank you very much, Lil Schnitzel.
I hate when I get in the shower and I look at it, sometimes a cold shower.
Yeah.
And I gotta wash it and it's gone. This is miserable.
Best magician of all time.
Bailey McCord. Bailey, thank you for your Patreon play.
Hey, last but not least, Sir Ryan King. Thank you very much, Mr. King.
Right here next to my notes, it says January 4th, 1999. I don't know why that's there. Maybe because that's the night the channel changed. Forever.
You went into that first instead of after the Patreons.
One thing that so Aaron, our friend, he did the poop story a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
We have had so many people write us to say, God damn it, I got a shit story for you. The shit stories have been rolling in.
Sweet.
This one comes from Kelly. There was no funny news articles this week. There was nothing. So I said, here's a good time for another poop story. She said the event.
Oh, this is a girl?
Yeah. Kelly, yep.
Hell yeah.
She said the event takes place circa 2007 or 2008. It was spring break and at Hot Topic at the Fairfield Commons Mall.
Wait, what? She's local.
Yeah, that's the mall we go to.
Yeah, it is.
You guys might have been at Hot Topic at the same time.
I'm sure we were.
Fucking blood-sucking vampires.
Yeah.
My mom and I were on a shopping trip, and that was my goth day, so of course I wanted to go into Hot Topic.
God bless you.
Upon entering, there was a large man standing by himself facing us, and he was not a worker. I did notice that he was sweating. He was sweating, but honestly didn't think too much of it. I went to the right side of the store to look. Oh, so he says
most guys that go into Hot Topic are sweaty guys anyway.
Yes.
So
he said, I remember he was wearing cargo shorts with a white and red striped shirt.
That sounds right.
I went to the right side of the store to look, and the wall of sunglasses, and my mom headed towards the back. After picking out what I wanted, I started walking towards where my mom was, but as I did, I realized I stepped in something, and I remember thinking, what in the actual fuck was that? I looked down, and holy shit, literally, and not just a normal pile of shit, but diarrhea shit. There was a lot, and it was runny and chunky and fucking terrible. My mind quickly went to that's where Waldo wearing fucker shit himself. I started yelling for my mom, and as you probably know, Hot Topic is a small store. Rob definitely knows that.
Hell yeah, it's tiny.
So everyone was looking at me. Once my mom came to, she said, "Holy shit!" And she went and got a worker while I was standing there like a fucking flamingo with my foot up off the floor. A nice worker did come over and clean off my shoe and also gave me a discount off of our purchase. And security did search for the Where's Waldo shitter, but he was never found. Hope my story gave you a little chuckle. Love the pod. You guys are awesome. Happy New Year's to you. Kelly.
What was security going to do besides make him clean it up?
Hey, boy, get back here. Clean up your shit, you nasty motherfucker. Sound like my dad.
Get your fat ass out of here.
Get your fat ass back here, motherfucker. Where's the paper boy? Get your fat ass back here, clean up this poop. You know you saved the poop for the bedroom. You come to the house, be pooping on me. Herbert the pervert. He's good.
Yeah.
He's nothing better than that guy right there.
Get your fat ass over here.
Get your fat ass over here, Chris. All right, so this is one of those episodes. It's either A, going to get us fucking killed, B, removed from the internet, or C, we will have no recollection of these events altogether. I highly recommend.
That's probably going to be it because we never remember any of these fucking episodes after we do.
When we talk to people, you remember that one time you're talking about fucking shit, man?
Nope.
And we're like, I got no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, you want to know what happened to me this week?
Sure.
This is a poop story too.
All right.
So sad. I got the dog, Bruce. Okay. We've talked about Bruce before.
Uh-huh.
Nicest dog in the world. Really stupid, but yet really smart.
Mm-hmm.
He does this thing. Well, I do this thing to him where I grab him around his belly. Not hard. I just touch his belly and he thinks I'm going to pick him up. So he goes dead weight. He fucking limp noodles it. He falls down the ground. And it absolutely, he's a ground dwelling mammal. He's terrified of being picked up off of his four paws. And I take advantage of that. And the kids think it's really funny when I try and pick him up because he
just dies.
He dies.
Yeah.
It's really fun to watch. Doesn't hurt himself. It's not mean, but I picked him up the other day and I got him all the way up and I put him chest to chest with me like a cat. And he's got his paws over my shoulders like he's looking behind me. And this motherfucker started tornadoing when I picked him up. This is the dog that like licks his balls until he comes in the middle of the night and just wakes everybody up.
Naturally.
He starts tornadoing when I get him up top. And he's like, starts spinning, and the kids are like, I'm like, I'm laughing too. I just want to hold him like a baby and give him kisses.
Sure.
Because I love him. He's about 60 pounds, maybe 70 pounds when he hasn't taken a shit in a while. But that day he had not taken a shit, so he was full of shit. But I pick him up and he starts to fall, like slide down my body because he's thrashing so hard.
Struggling.
He gets a claw behind my ear, like a dew claw behind my fucking ear, about kills me. But then he starts to slide down, so I go to grab him under his butt and just like putting a like, those when you're out when you're a kid and you had that rocket you put on top of the thing out in the yard and you step on the other end, just like the rocket going down the base, his fucking butthole came down my finger.
Oh no.
Dude, I went 2 knuckles up inside this dog.
No,
he froze like a fucking popsicle for like. And he's just like looking up and he's like, his fucking ears are pent back. It's because I was 2 knuckles into his butthole and it was so fucking gross. And I knew as soon as my finger went in, there was gonna be fucking poop on it because it felt sandy and hot.
So bad.
So then I pull my finger out. I'm like, I'm like trying to ease him down because he has seizures. So I didn't want to drop him and hit his head and have a seizure. So I put him down, dude. My fucking finger was covered in dog doo. It was the worst thing ever.
Oh, that's awful.
So naturally, I did what any other guy would do. Clean my finger. No, I didn't do that. But the kids were like, oh my God. The kids are gagging. I'm gagging because it stunk, dude. There's nothing worse than a fucking turd that's not ready to be tampered with. It gets tampered with.
It's extra fresh.
It was sandy and hot, dude.
Has that seal of approval on it?
It was like, it was like stress balls.
Yeah.
It was like putting your finger inside one of those, what that would feel like. It was sandy stress balls. But he was as cool as a cucumber when that finger went in his butt. He
just got laid, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He just lets out a big.
He licked his nuts extra hard that night. He's like, I know that you didn't even expect to put your finger in my butthole. But it was kind of good for both of us, wasn't it? What a fucking jerk.
Oh, man, that's good.
Dog is entirely too much. If you ever stuck your finger in your dog's butthole by accident, please send us an email, BrahiaPodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your story. Love to hear what happened to you. If your dog is okay.
If you're okay.
Bruce had to wear a diaper for 3 days. He was limping too. I got
a hurting on him.
I got fat fingers. So it isn't pretty to think about, but unfortunately the U.S. government decided at a certain point that there was a need for secret prisons nestled at undisclosed locations all over the world. Okay. The media has identified these secret locations as CIA black sites. I think these sites have been around for quite some time, but they really took on a different meaning after the 9/11 attacks. Now, this is kind of there was a really weird vibe whenever I was going through the research for this one. A lot of these articles and people when I say things like this, people are "Oh, he's fucking making stuff up," but go
Yeah.
look for yourself. There's articles that are redacted now that are you go there and you get the 404 error, lots of stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff missing now about these articles. So what we're talking about are these secret prisons, not even necessarily prisons. They're just like places they take prisoners to torture them and interrogate them. Now, Rob and I were in the 9th grade whenever the 9/11 attacks happened.
Yep. That's one of those things I think you always remember where you were at.
Oh yeah, I mean, anyone that experienced the JFK shootings or when the Challenger blew up, they remember that exact
Yep.
moment.
I was in Mr. Lyons' class.
Were you?
Yep.
He was a mean,
Just started.
He was a mean motherfucker.
And
Yeah, it was
bell
right.
just rang and he had it on the TV.
It happened right at class change, and I remember I probably told the story before.
I saw the second tower get hit.
I heard it. Well, I didn't hear. I'm like, I saw it on the news. I think, yeah, in English class, Mrs. Akers,
Mm-hmm.
and then we went to the next class, and it was I can't remember what the next class was, but I stopped and told that
Miss Aker was way too smart to teach at our school.
she fucking hated my guts.
She was such a good teacher, though.
I wore a shirt, 2 squirrels fighting. It said, "Get off my nuts," and she saw that. She said, "Go to the bathroom and turn it inside out, or go home." And I said, "I'm going home. I ain't fucking with you, bitch." And I went down to the office. They're like, "No, you can't go home. You're gonna put on one of these fucking spaghetti straps. You're gonna turn that one inside out." I said, "Give me the spaghetti strap, or give me." I was ready. I said, "Give me spaghetti strap, or give me death." But I walked past Doug Dunham's class,
Yeah.
foundations teacher,
Yep.
typing. I said, "Plane just hit the trade towers." He's like, "What?" I said, "A plane just hit the trade tower." And he's like, "Huh? Okay, better check that out." And then, a little bit later, they hit the second tower. Man, it was like, what the? We're under attack.
We were sitting there watching it, and then we were just watching all the smoke and debris and stuff from the first one, and then all of a sudden the second one comes in. And we're all sitting there. We're all just like, "Holy shit!"
It was such a. It
Like
takes
my stomach sank.
Yeah, and I didn't have the sense of urgency that I would have right now.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the gravity of the situation.
Right.
I did not understand, because all I could think about was like, hopefully don't have any fucking football practice today, because I knew that they were mad at us. The football coach was, and he was gonna be running our fucking balls off, and I knew it was, and that's all I really thought about. I didn't think, like, it didn't initially hit me like there's gonna be all of these people are dead.
Yeah.
Like, there was never that first initial thought.
You really want to feel like a piece of shit? Someone in the YouTube comments just said they were in kindergarten when it happened.
That's all right.
Jesus, we're old.
We speak to many generations.
That's crazy.
So in that instant, I do not think, and I've gone on record and I've said this, I don't think George Bush was responsible, and I don't think he knew about it. Do I think other people knew about it? Possibly. Do I think there was some ulterior motives involved by some other people? Good chance. But for me to say one of the most patriotic, like, fucking ball grabbing, gun shooting presidents we've ever had, to say that he knew that happened, I'm not buying that. Like Bush did 9/11. I don't think that Bush did 9/11.
I don't think he did 9/11. I think the whole administration knew what was going on.
Really?
Uh-huh.
See, I don't argue it.
Yeah,
because
Cheney made the call for the fighter jets to stand down to take down the second plane.
Yeah. See, there's so many things I don't know. I'm so uneducated on the 9/11 conspiracies.
Yeah.
As a conspiracy podcaster, I am a fucking insult to the industry by how little I know about the 9/11 attacks.
Right.
But I just think George Bush, he was he wouldn't have did something like that. I don't think he would have did that. So for me, it changed a lot the day that those planes hit those trade towers. Whenever that happened, and you and I have both worked in places where people don't have rights. Prison,
Sure, yeah.
prison, people don't have rights. In
Nope.
jail, people don't have rights. In that instant, when those two planes hit those towers, George Bush said, "There isn't a fucking person that is not from America that has any fucking pretty much any Middle Eastern person has no rights. And I'm going to stop and talk to every single person not from America and probably in America as well and find out who did this." And immediately it opened up the floodgates for the CIA to start doing some very dirty deeds to get information out of people. Do I think that there was probably torture tactics before this? Absolutely.
Oh, definitely, no doubt.
But do
throughout history, I mean that's yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's never ceased.
But do I believe that it went to a new stratosphere when this shit happened? I absolutely believe that as well.
Especially for airport security, that's
dude. You used to be able to think about that before
TSA. They walked right in with box cutters. I had a little bitty pocket knife at a concert last year when we went and it got taken away from me.
Get the fuck out of here.
It was literally, the blade was maybe not even an inch long.
Was that the one we went to?
Yeah.
That was right before the country shut down too.
Yeah, it was a bottle opener / little utility knife, and they're like, nope. I'm really gonna fucking shank a bunch of people with this thing.
But dude, you used to just walk on a plane. You didn't have to show your driver's license. You didn't have to do anything. You just walk onto a plane.
The thought of that in itself is really crazy.
It's ludicrous.
Yeah.
Let's get back to that.
Yeah. Please don't.
God, please don't. And I think that, like I said, when this 9/11 stuff happened, it fucking opened up the floodgates for the CIA to be like,
oh yeah,
okay, game on. We're gonna hurt you, and we're gonna hurt you bad,
mm-hmm.
and we're gonna get the information out of you that we want. Did they get the information they wanted? We don't know. We don't think so, but
got the Freedom of Information Act, where it could pretty much do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, we're gonna need that phone number. Actually, we don't need the phone number. We just need everything that's being said on the phone, and we're gonna get that, and we do not need your permission.
Yep.
But you're the yellow, Rob, and I didn't get any much further than this with the yellow.
Okay,
unfortunately.
Sure. Already down here already. Yep. All right, so after 9/11, the CIA wanted independent sites outside of the United States where they could detain and interrogate high-level Al-Qaeda suspects, per the Washington Post. So in 2003, it was 2 years after 9/11, if you can do your math, CIA officials told national security officers and Vice President Slick Dick Cheney that the enhanced interrogation techniques at the sites were producing significant results, per CNN. A 2006 Supreme Court ruling per interrogators at risk of prosecution for war crimes, leading to temporary halt of their interrogation methods, the NYT reports, the New York Times reports. President Bush signed an executive order in 2007 that said the CIA was barred from using cruel or inhuman treatment, aka torture, while interrogating detainees. Like that's going to stop anybody. A 2012 Senate Intelligence Committee report cited a detailed case that subjecting prisoners to enhanced interrogation techniques did not help the CIA find Osama bin Laden, officials told the Washington Post. 6 days after the terrorist attacks of September 11th, President George W. Bush issued a directive allowing the CIA to discreetly detain and interrogate prisoners at clandestine sites located around the world, cut off from communication with legal counsel, family, and everyone else. So we can't torture you, but we can take you away from everything and not let you talk to anybody.
But dude, these guys, listen, it was the Wild West once this 9/11 stuff went down.
Right.
They didn't give a fuck what you had going on or who you were. They were pulling your toenails out.
Yeah.
But we will talk more later. We'll talk a lot about this. I think it's the Senate Intelligence Committee. There was actually a committee, an intelligence committee that reported on the findings of all the tactical tortures and what's it called, the enhanced enhanced interrogation techniques.
Okay.
That's what it's referred to when they start doing the really bad shit, is the enhanced interrogation techniques. It's believed that between 50 to 60 countries have helped, aided, and facilitated the United States government and their CIA black sites. So they're not prisons. That's what when people hear, and I want to make this point right away, when people hear about CIA black sites, they think, it's just a prison. Like, it's a prison. Guantanamo Bay, that's a prison. These places are fucking sheds in the middle of the sand. These are places nestled in the ground where they are at places where people don't even know why it's there. It's not even a American. It's not even an American base. It's like you put them at places where these foreign countries like Morocco and shit, where there's like, we have no idea what the Americans are doing. All we know is we see planes and we see dead bodies getting carried around. The first location is Diego Garcia. And we've talked about Diego Garcia before, and we'll touch on that here in just a second. But Diego Garcia is I think it's called Atoll. It's like
an atoll.
It's a round reef. It's not even an island. It's like a reef that's up. It's kind of like it's kind of an island, but it's in the shape of a circle. But it's in the Indian Ocean. It's located around 1,600 kilometers or 1,000 miles south of India, and about 2,000 miles east of Tanzania. I don't know what they do in Tanzania, but I bet it's some dirty business for sure. The locale is claimed by the United Kingdom as part of their British Indian Ocean territory. In the 1960s and 1970s, the UK deported the native people of the atoll to Mauritius, and the Seychelles. But
that has to be seashells.
It has to be
Seychelles.
In order to allow the United States government to construct a large naval and military base now known as Camp Thunder Cove. Well, that's a cool fucking name.
And yes, somebody said something that I was going to say. Yes, Bikini Bottom from SpongeBob was based off of Bikini Atoll. So it's an atoll too. So yes, that is true.
The installation is currently home to roughly 4,000 military personnel and independent contractors to this very day. During the 9/11 attacks, Diego Garcia was used as a transition location for U.S. prisoners when other locations were too full, dangerous, or unavailable. This is according to Lawrence Wilkinson, and he was the former chief of staff for Colin Powell, who worked in the Bush administration. His intelligence sources indicated to him that the island was, however, home to a, quote, a transit site where people were temporarily housed, let us say, and interrogated from time to time.
Tortured.
It's the first time a senior Bush administration official has stated on the record that the remote British territory was a part of the CIA's global network of black sites. The U.S. has operated a military base on the atoll since the British leased it to them in the 1960s. So I think the atoll is owned by Great Britain. They lease it to America.
We're like, the U.S. is like that fucking kid Sid from the first Toy Story movie. Fucking just taking toys and taking them in their backyard and just blowing them up.
That's what they say that was happening in the site. They said there was just people with bags on their heads coming and going. They're taking people in and out of these sheds. There was never, and like I said, there was never a prison. There's never anything like that. Just buildings where the people there put forth accounts that say we just saw, people coming and going with like hoods on and shit, weird stuff. And you'll remember Diego Garcia because it's believed that Malaysian Flight 370, it's been suggested that MH370 was either captured by the United States and then flown to the United States military base on the atoll of Diego Garcia in the British Indian Ocean territory, or that the plane landed at the base directly after being instructed to travel there. So there's a lot of mystery surrounding that atoll or that island, Diego Garcia. They say that the Malaysian flight was escorted there. Those people were taken off and they were disposed of. I think that's kind of weird.
That is kind of weird, yeah.
I don't think that happened.
What would be the point of that?
It would be kind of fucking stupid. But I am going to pause here because I'm going to go take some nose spray.
As soon
as I start talking to you, I don't know if it's your shampoo or what the fuck it is.
Fucking blame it on me, man.
Yeah, it's definitely you.
It can't be the fact that the cat shits down here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's not it. I love kitty cats. And I'm gonna go upstairs and put my finger in my dog's butt too. All right. Okay, just talk to him for a second.
Sure, no problem. I can hold on the fort.
Tell him how much we love him.
All right. What's up, guys? Y'all know what it is. I swear it's my great wisdom. I don't know fucking shit about anything besides beer. Tell a dad joke. Man, I don't know any good dad jokes off the top of my head right now. I'd have to research that. I'm a disappointment. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm drinking a beer from a brewery in Columbus, Ohio, called Brewdog. It's called the Pulp Patriot Black Currant. It's a black currant milkshake IPA. It's in a variety pack. I just happened to pick this one out. I was disappointed because yesterday I went to, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday we went to this place called Great Wolf Lodge, which is like a huge log cabin hotel resort area that has like a water park, and we took the kids there for their birthdays. And I brought a beer down to the pool area, and it happened to be a fucking cider, and I was pissed. New story series is awesome. Thank you. I'll have another one this week. Let's see. Yeah, Great Wolf in Pennsylvania. Yep. Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? I think we talked about this before. And
Easy.
I would definitely not want to fight 100 duck-sized horses. Fuck that.
Suck the horse's dick.
Oh man. Well, thank you. Yeah, I got another one already picked out for this week. So for my next story series. Well, it's not even gonna be a series. I think it may be 2 episodes, but still.
Oh, good.
The first one's gonna be a long one.
I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully that'll be Thursday-ish.
Are you good?
I'm ready, man.
All right. To all you wonderful people listening. Yes, I took some nose spray.
Yeah, hey.
It's the past few weeks, it's just been getting me. I don't know what it is. The next location is the Tamara Interrogation Center in Morocco. I looked up what Morocco is, where it's at. It's in Africa. It's in Western Africa.
Right.
It's like there's nothing fucking there. I don't know why.
It sounds fancy, though.
They say that I'll read it.
Sure.
It's an extrajudicial detainment and secret prison facility. It's ran by the Moroccan government. It's located within a forested area about 15 kilometers from Rabat, Morocco. Rabat. Rabbit. It's operated by the Directorate for the Surveillance of the Territory, a Moroccan domestic intelligence agency implicated in past and ongoing human rights violations, which continues to arrest, detain, and interrogate individuals suspected of involvement in terrorism-related activities outside of the Moroccan legal framework. The Associated Press reported in August 2010 that according to several current and former American officials, the U.S. government possesses video and audio recordings of Ramzi Benelshib.
Huh.
How do you, Benelshib.
Say that one more time and you'll summon a genie.
He was an accused plotter of the September 11th, 2001 attacks, being interrogated in a secret prison. The U.S. officials told the AP that the prison was run by Moroccans, but largely financed by the CIA, which in late 2002 handed Benelshib over to Moroccan custody and kept him there for 5 months. The Moroccan government has never acknowledged the facility's existence, despite allegations by freed Guantanamo detainee Benyam Mohammed. Sorry, I'm not good at these names. Tamara Interrogation Center and others that the CIA relied on Morocco as a secret proxy detention site during the period after September 11th, 2001. There were a lot of innocent people. And listen, and don't you call me anti-American, call me whatever, but not every Middle Eastern person was responsible for 9/11.
Right, exactly.
And that is the mantra that the U.S. took on after that happened. Every American dad in the country is like, they're gonna fucking blow that goddamn sandbox up, bro. Fucking. There were conspirators.
You get all the fucking stupid ass hillbillies that we need to just drop a fucking nuke on them. Like, oh yeah, that's okay.
That's how Donald Trump's gonna stop
Fucking
the hurricane.
idiots.
He's gonna drop a goddamn nuke in the tornado.
This is why so many people hate Americans that live outside of this country.
Yeah,
fucking hillbillies.
But yeah, that was a lot of innocent people were brought in for questioning and detained, and
right
off the record as well. There was, and like I said, don't call me un-American. I fucking love America. I bleed freedom, but there were a lot of innocent guys and ladies that were detained, interrogated, and tortured.
Yeah. I love where I live. I hate the people that run where I live, though.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, they're all fucking scum bums.
Frequently reported methods of torture at this location included beatings. That's pretty standard. You're gonna have that anywhere.
Yeah.
The suspension of the body and contorted positions, and the threat of rape or other sexual abuse of the detainees' female relatives. And I read this a lot in a lot of the different locations.
Just the threat, or would they actually do it?
Well, that's the thing. There's kind of like a cultural drop somewhere where you and I are out at a bar and say, Rob, dog, I'm gonna fuck your mom. You'd be like, you don't want to do that, you dirty dick motherfucker. And
I came out of there, trust me.
And then I'll be like, you're right, I'm not gonna fuck your mom. But if someone from Iraq, you say,
sure,
hey, I'm gonna fuck your mom. They're like, no, you're not. Like, that's a fucking blood oath. You're like, you're trying to get killed in that instant when there's like a cultural dropout. So a lot of these detainees reported that it was a really common threat that the people interrogating them and torturing them would say, I'm going to go to your house. I'm going to go to your hut, wherever. I'm going to fuck your sister. I'm going to fuck your mom. I'm going to fuck all your female animals.
Finger your dog.
I'm going to fuck your grandma. Then I'm going to make your mom fuck your grandma. And then when that's done, I'm going to fuck you. But there was always a threat to go rape their family, like to go rape their mom, go rape their sisters. And the detainees and the people interrogated always responded. What's so funny?
Josh Gomez says Nick gives bad head.
That's not true.
It's not true.
It's not true at all. But they always use the constant threat of raping their female family members. And it really went a long way as far as getting these guys to talk. Well, getting them pissed off and getting to the point where they're like, fuck this. I'm pissed off now. They would always constantly threat rape to all their female family members.
There are those people that are like that, though. I've ran across people like that.
It's called not having a sense of humor.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if you say something about their mom, like, what the fuck did you just say?
Dude, the worst is when you're like, yeah, your fucking mom's, and they're like, my mom died. My mom's dead. And you're like, oh, I really feel like a horse's patoot now. Never felt that way in my entire life.
Have you ever said that to anybody?
Oh yeah.
Oh, me too, man.
Dude, I can remember. I
feel fucking awful.
This one, I said to some guy, and I'm like, yeah, your mom. And he's like, my mom. It was some guy I was working with that I didn't even really know.
Yeah.
We just kind of been buddy for that day. He was an out of towner. I was like, that's not what your mom said. He's like, oh, my mom died. And I'm just like, that sucks. Like, I didn't know what to say.
That's one of those things you can't really, you can't sidestep.
You're like, yeah, she did after I was done duking her down. After she said on this duke.
You want to know why she's dead?
Check her guts. They're on my wiener.
Oh, man.
So bad. But also, not only were they using constant threats of rape, there was also sexual abuse of the detainees' female relatives. Some of them believed that their female relatives were actually sexually abused. I couldn't find any further research on that. Other reported methods included rape by the forced insertion of objects such as bottles into the anus.
Oh God.
Sleep deprivation, cigarette burns, and the application of live electrodes to the body.
Man.
One detainee reported having cigarettes put out on his butthole.
Jeez.
Hot pocket.
You want to get me to talk? Make me sleep deprived. I don't give a fuck.
Dude.
I treasure sleep. So it's like if you want me to say anything, just make me not sleep for a couple days.
You want to talk about making me mad?
Oh fuck yeah!
When I get woken up, my wife's like, "Why are you so mean?" I'm fucking mad,
and I don't even remember half the shit that I say.
No, I say really mean stuff.
She'll wake me up. I'm like, leave me the fuck alone.
Right. Oh, she'll be like, you divorced me last night. I'm like, no, I didn't. I still love you. I want to be with you forever. She's like, I woke you up, and you're like, I want a fucking divorce. I don't remember saying that at all. I've told her like, shut the fuck up, dude. I'm a sweet prince. I've never cussed at her. I don't yell at her. Nothing like that. But dude, she wakes me up. I'm like, you're a fucking piece of shit. Like,
yeah, dude, I can't stand being waken up. It's the worst. So woken up.
But back to the thing we just skipped over pretty quickly. This guy had cigarettes put out on his butthole.
Yo, let's not dance over that.
If you can, like, if you're like, set me down, for interrogation, like, all right, Nicholas, just what are the 3 things you don't want done to you? I'm like, I don't want tickled under the armpits. I don't want anything sharp put near my ear. And I don't want anyone in here putting a cigarette out of my butthole. I don't know if I can.
I've taken spicy shits before. I can only imagine a smoking hot cigarette on my asshole.
When I was a kid, I used to like to I would shit in the yard and I'd take matches and I just like to poop on fire just because I like the smell of hot shit burning.
So were you? That just reminded me of a story. So, do you have more that you're going to go into?
No.
Okay, great.
No, after I ate it,
I don't know if I've told this story before. I don't have many good stories. This is a good one.
Hot shit, country grammar.
Hopefully I haven't told this before. I don't remember if I have or not. Maybe I have. Fuck, I think I have.
Just send it, dude.
So, anyways, I don't care. I've told the story before. I'm sorry. So, like I said, my dad was a complete dick growing up.
Yes, he was.
Whenever I was in my teenage years, I would take monstrous shits, and we had this toilet in the downstairs, which is where my room was.
I used it.
You had to turn on the water because we kept the water turned off on it because it would leak or something. So we kept the water turned off until we were using it. I hated using it because I would always clog that fucking toilet up every single time I'd use it, and I would courtesy flush and everything. I think I needed a poop knife, but
wasn't it like out in the open?
There was no doors. There was nothing.
Yeah, it was just in the middle of God and everybody.
Yeah, there was a walk-in shower, like a plastic 3-walled shower with like a shower curtain, and then right beside it was a toilet, and then there was a slop sink for the laundry and shit. So it got to the point to where every single time we didn't keep a plunger down there. We had one in our upstairs bathroom, which I never went upstairs because I didn't want to have to talk to that cocksucker.
God rest his soul.
Nah, fuck him. So I would have to go up there, and this was before I discovered wipes, so I'd use a shit ton of toilet paper too. So I'm sure that didn't help. so I'd have to go up there. I have to try to sneak around to get the damn plunger to walk back down, so I could plunge my shit to get the toilet to go down.
Cholo walking.
Yeah. So like I would either do that, or what I would end up doing is just I'd have there's a dehumidifier, and I'd fill the bucket up with shower water, and then just dump the water forcefully into the toilet so it would manually flush it. So for like, I got so scared of clogging this fucking toilet for 3 weeks straight. I would go out in our backyard behind the garage and go in the tree line, and I would drop my pants and I would shit in the tree line.
Oh my God.
And I would walk back inside with the poopy ass. And I would wipe my ass.
Don't be taking no toilet paper out there when you rob, dog.
I'd wipe my ass and flush the toilet, and I would be fine, man.
No wonder you fucking poop like a prince now. You're like, I must have the finest wipes that money can buy.
So I want to know more about my childhood. No, you do not.
It's not a good one. I remember I used to go to Rob's house, and he'd be like, all right, we're staying the night. And then whatever he was, he'd be like, what the fuck is he doing here?
There's a reason why whenever I had friends, or whenever I was hanging out with friends, I would go to their house, not anybody coming to my house.
I was a brave soul. I came over a lot.
Yeah, you did.
I just remember your mom would never move from the seat. She was like,
nope.
Smoking her cigarette. Like, oh, I see you brought over the fat one again.
Yeah, it was a fun.
Get
fun
down
time.
there and suck Robbie's dick.
Yeah, so needless to say, those trees back behind the garage thrived.
Big tall motherfuckers. They stink now, but god damn it, they tall. And I kind of skipped over this as well. The one detainee said they were putting bottles in their asses.
Yeah.
Were they Mountain Dew bottles? Were they Big Slams?
That's dangerous in itself because it's got the vacuum effect.
Oh yeah,
the bottles they could just rip everything that's inside of there out with the suction.
Yeah, I even got the correct pronunciation on this one. It is the
look at you,
Mihail Kukalini Kukalini Chowna Airport. I think I nailed it.
Okay.
Kukalini Chowna. It's the main airport for Romania's southern Dobrogia region.
Jesus Christ. This is unforgiving.
We are uncultured swine.
We are retards.
And it's in Romania. It's located and this is a really, really tough one. This is a bad place. If you go there, you are definitely getting cigarettes put out in your butthole, and you are definitely getting a Big Slam. They are making you shit in the tree line and walk back to the house.
It's Romania. What do you expect?
It's located just a stone's throw away from the popular tourist resorts in the Black Sea coast, and not coast to coast AM, but the Black Sea coast. In 2015, the airport managed 2,227 flights involving over 63,000 passengers. However, some have alleged that a number of these flights were used to traffic ghost prisoners.
Okay.
Dude, from a secret prison on the airport's premises. Romania claims that the airport is only used as a transfer point for CIA prisoners and not for actual detainment or interrogations. However, in 2008, USA Today quoted an unnamed Romanian official, this is good shit here, who claimed that the military portion of the airport contained 3 buildings which were strictly off limits to Romanian officials but were frequented by U.S. agents. More evidence supporting the airport's role in the CIA detention arose in 2010 when Der Spiegel reported that the Swiss intelligence agency's Onyx satellite surveillance system had intercepted a fax between an Egyptian foreign minister and his ambassador in London. The communique described the detention of 23 Iraqi and Afghan captives at the airport. And there was an article that went with this. It's from heraldnet.com. And the article says it was the Kogalina Chow airport or whatever in Romania. It always happened at 1 a.m. In a secluded corner of the heavily guarded airfield, 2 snipers would creep across a rooftop and take their position. Moments later, just below, a black minibus would arrive and wait. 3 times in 2004 and twice more in 2005, a jet landed and the black bus drove out to meet it. Large, mysterious parcels were exchanged that, according to a Romanian official who says he witnessed it, looked like bundled up terrorist suspects. So these guys were like bagged up and fucking tied all together. The official, a high-ranking veteran with inside knowledge of operations at the base, said the planes then left for North Africa with their cargo and 2 CIA handlers aboard. His descriptions add to suspicion surrounding Romania's involvement in extraordinary rendition, the beyond-the-law transfer of U.S. terror suspects from country to country by CIA. Human rights advocates say renditions were the agency's way to outsource torture of prisoners to countries where it was a permitted practice. So they would literally hand these prisoners off to the Romanian government. Well, they would hand them off to other governments. Maybe, probably not fucking likely. They're definitely doing the torturing themselves.
Yeah.
But they, what?
Jimmy Troy said, I bet it's hard to keep a ghost prisoner from escaping.
Romania's precise role is a little reported part of the U.S. Of the system that is being slowly revealed, often to chagrin of U.S. allies. In an embarrassing reversal after years of denial, Britain admitted Thursday that its military outpost on the Indian island of Diego Garcia had twice been used as a refueling stop for their secret transport of terrorist suspects. So these Romanian official, they denied the Romanian government denied all of this. Like there's nothing there that you think is there. It's just all figment of your fucking imagination. But all of these people that came forward said they're definitely doing some shit here. We saw them drag these guys off all bagged up and shit. Because they don't want them to see the prisoners actually coming off of the Airbuses. So they would cover them in trash bags and then tie them all together like a big old fucking, just move them like a pallet, which is really fucking cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they said that there was all kinds of, in one report, they said there was a lot of high value detainees from the Taliban that were passing through Romania and Poland between 2002 and 2005. It goes on to cite kind of what these flights were only around midnight and 1 a.m. in the middle of the night. The U.S. did confirm in the article, it says President Bush and other administration officials have confirmed the existence of the rendition program, but have not named the countries involved. They say the U.S. does not engage in torture, but the rendition program was the U.S. wouldn't torture prisoners, but they would give them to the Romanian government. I think I wouldn't want to be tortured by the Romanian government.
I would take my chances with the Americans.
Like the Americans, they only put bottles in your butts.
You're not getting your testicles hooked up to car batteries.
Romanians put piranhas in your butts. I do not like my butt. I don't like my butt anymore after piranha.
God, dude, I can only imagine what like a Russian, like, oh God.
Oh,
I mean, these fuckers fight bears for fun. Can you imagine what their torture is?
Just bite your penis.
It's just a room of teddy bears.
Or just someone that bit your wiener.
Like just a little bit enough to draw blood and hurt.
Fucking kid with like a really big forehead and like low eyebrows. And they just let him in.
Just a huge protruding forehead.
You're probably wondering why Victor is in here, aren't you? He bites your wiener. He's not a fairy, but he loves wieners.
They gotta get him right at that point where they just lose their baby teeth and their grown up teeth are just starting to come in.
They got puppy teeth
when they're sharp as fuck.
Ow! Dude, it sucks when a puppy bites you.
It's so bad.
Fuck puppies, dude. Like, not literally. I think that would be kind of gross.
My youngest son, my aunt and uncle have a new puppy, and my youngest son Colton is terrified of their puppy because he bites and it hurts so bad. You would have thought that like a lion was chasing him the other night when we went over there. It was great.
Dude, puppy teeth are gnarly.
They suck.
Yeah, almost as bad as grandma teeth. But we're not going to go there either. Well, like I said, I think the rendition program, the U.S. government wouldn't torture these detainees themselves. They would give the detainees to other countries, Morocco, in this instance, Romania, and they would say, here, you guys are allowed to do this. Pull his fucking toenails out. Put cigarettes out on his butthole. Shove a hot water up his butt. Take him out to the tree line. Make him poop back there. Make him walk back up front here with poop on his butt cheeks. All these bad things so the U.S. government can be like, you asked us if we were torturing people.
Yeah.
No. Just like when we go to the store when I was a kid, I'd be like, Ryan, put that fucking candy bar in your pocket, you fucking pussy. And he would do it. He would steal shit from me, and then I would take it from him. I would strong arm robbery him when we got back to the car, and I would eat the candy.
Give me that fucking candy, or I'm telling mom.
He's got a police record now. That's not my fault. That's his fault. Shouldn't have listened to me.
Yeah, I mean, even if they say they're not involved in, I mean, I guarantee they have these people in their back pockets to where they can, just pawn it off on them if it ever came, if light was ever shed.
I think it was, they were probably indefinitely, there's no way they were passing these guys off.
Sure.
They were just really doing the torturing. They're like, oh, the Romanians are doing it.
Right.
We definitely weren't doing it. Now, the next site it's called Detention Site Green. It's in Thailand. It doesn't even have a fucking name. It's just called Detention Site Green. Have you ever done that joke where you walk up to someone, you say, what's the capital of Thailand? And they're like, I don't know. And you're like, Bangkok. And you punch them
Smack him in the dick. Yeah.
Or my most favorite, I had one neighborhood friend that always do this. He would smack people in the penis and the balls, but when he would do it, he would say, floppy dog.
Yeah.
Floppy dog. You ever give floppy dogs when you're little?
I've been there, man.
Dude, kids these days are growing up and they don't get to hear all this cool stuff that we used to say. Like I told you, I talked about it a few months ago, but one of my cousins called me a penis wrinkle, and I fucking laughed so hard because I haven't been called a penis wrinkle. So
yeah, man, it's been like middle school. That's an old school thing,
and
man.
Kids these days are like, I don't know what they call it when they punch each other in the wiener. but I haven't heard floppy dog in a long time.
They just talk about how they subscribe to their mom's OnlyFans. Your mom's got ugly titties.
Yeah. We used to punch each other. Me and my little brother, well, my big brother too. We would punch each other in the dick, and then like we would hurt each other.
Yeah.
And then my mom would be like, "What happened?" And then we would be like, "I punched him in the pussy," and she would get so mad when we fucking say that. Yeah, I punched him in the pussy.
Floppy dog's a good one though.
Floppy dog. At detention site Green in Thailand denies the existence of this black site.
Naturally.
Despite multiple reports describing the mysterious detention site Green and hinting that it may be located just outside of Bangkok or somewhere in the northern province of Udon Thani. I think I got that right.
Sounds good.
Like a Christina Aguilera song. According to The Guardian in 2009, the CIA themselves confirmed that they have destroyed 90. God damn it.
Wow.
The CIA themselves confirmed they have destroyed 92 tapes of interviews with terror suspects, which were filmed somewhere in Thailand. The report also claimed that Site Green was somewhat of an experiment where the CIA honed their waterboarding and other enhanced interrogation techniques, which would later be used at the larger European sites, which the agency would go on to construct. One of the CIA's guinea pigs was Abu Zabayadad, a Saudi national captured in Pakistan in 2002. Zabayadad was reportedly waterboarded so severely that bubbles would rise out of his open mouth.
What?
Abd al-Rahim al-Nashiri, the alleged mastermind of the USS Cole bombings, was also supposedly held at Site Green. Reports state that he, too, was waterboarded in addition to being threatened with sodomy. You don't take this water, I'm going to shove it up your butt.
I'm going
to fuck you. I'm going to fuck the shit out of you.
I'm going to touch that little brown water balloon knot you got down there, boy.
You know, one thing about, we have a lot of veteran friends, and one thing I notice about our veteran friends, those motherfuckers will take a shit anywhere. And I would not want to be handcuffed and suspended in a room where they're just like, and they will pull their balls out. And this may not be all veterans, but all the veterans I know will pull out their balls, in some instances, even their penis, and they'll lay it across your wrist. And this happened to me.
Wristwatch.
This has happened to me several times. Where I'll be at a party, I just feel like, it's like, oh, someone's touching my hand. I look over, and it's a veteran's balls draped across my wrist. You've never had that happen to you before?
It's a great American pastime.
And I've not perfected this trick. I don't do it. I do what some call the Italian belt buckle. Where you pull your balls above your jean line, above your waistline, and you show your testicles.
Yeah.
But these veterans will pull their wanging balls out and just lay them, drape them across your wrist like a fucking fancy French bracelet. They don't have any. And I would hate to be tortured by one of these guys. And for those of you that are not familiar with waterboarding, I've never personally gone through it. I thought you want
to demonstrate it right now?
The art, just to show everyone what it's all about. I'm gonna have Rob Dog waterboard me real quick. We're gonna use Squirt, the soft drink.
Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna have to get fancy.
You're like, oh, I really need to give you some of that right now. That's what Bruce did when I stuck my finger up his butt. He fucking squirted. Fucking hot, squishy poo-doo all over the place. No, I think it's kind of, it can be done a few different ways, but usually you're put in a chair, and I could be wrong about this. They tie you up and they lean you upside down. They usually put a towel over your face.
Yeah, some sort of a rag or towel.
They start dumping water over it, and it gives you the sensation like you are completely engulfing your lungs with water, like you are drowning altogether. It's horrendously painful. It hurts. But it doesn't kill you. It just makes you feel like you're dying. It makes you think that if it goes on a fraction of a second longer, you're going to die. But that's one of the biggest go-to techniques that the CIA would go to, was waterboarding techniques. And there was this big up in arms thing during the Senate investigation where they said, why are we waterboarding people? And they're like, that shit fucking works, because it sucks. And I think there was even one instance of some news reporter that said, okay, I want to go through it to see how bad it is. They do it to him for like 5 seconds. He's like, no, fuck this shit. I'm done. I've never been waterboarded.
I mean, neither.
If you have been waterboarded, send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your story.
Even two friends fucking around, and if there's really no real imminent danger.
Yeah, I don't know if there is. I don't know if you can die from waterboarding. I think if you did it to,
I mean, yeah, I'm sure you could, but
fuck it up. I've heard the old wives' tale. You can drown in a cup of water. I don't think that's true.
if you're a fucking idiot,
You can't fucking swim. You don't have your.
If you don't have enough sense to lift your fucking head up out of the 2 inches of water, you deserve to drown.
What are you, a bird? Bird brain. You drown in his deep. Now the next one is called Camp Lemonnier Djibouti. Djibouti. Djibouti is a highly strategic location for the U.S. military.
Hell yeah, it is.
Primarily due to its close proximity to terrorist hot zones such as Somalia and Yemen, which there are some bad fucking dudes there.
You can distinguish it from all the cigarette burns.
Yeah. Yeah. Terrible. And it's as well as the pirate-filled Gulf of Aden. Located at Djibouti Amboli International Airport is Camp Lemonnier, a U.S. naval expeditionary base. Officially, it is home to the Combined Joint Task Force Horn of Africa, a U.S. combat unit that was mobilized during Operation Enduring Freedom, aka the War on Terror.
Yeah.
Unofficially, according to a 2014 report from Al Jazeera America, Djibouti's Camp Lemonnier is also a CIA black site that saw dozens of suspects secretly detained, interrogated, and tortured. The report also stated the site has been used as recently as 2012 by the Obama administration, despite President Obama's signing an executive order in 2009 banning the use of black sites by the CIA. In 2015, The Intercept revealed aerial shots of Camp Lemonnier showing how the base, which is a crucial takeoff point for Reaper and Predator drones, has been steadily expanding. I think that's probably another really bad place to go.
It doesn't sound nice. I don't think anywhere in where'd you say that was?
Somewhere near
Djibouti.
Djibouti.
I don't want to be anywhere named Djibouti.
When I used to work in the state prison system, there was a lot of Djibouti in there, if you know what I mean.
I'm feeling it.
Okay. I was watching the fight between what's his name, Nate Robinson and
and Jake Paul. Yeah,
he knocked that motherfucker out, dude.
That fight was so funny.
It was knocked him the fuck out. And
then he's trying to call out Connor afterwards. Like, dude,
the best part is Nate Robinson's like laying there dead. Like he is fucking gone.
He laid there for like 10 minutes.
He's laying there, and 3 seconds after he got knocked out, Snoop Dogg says, "Oh yeah, that Paul dude, he a bad man. Nate, he gonna be okay. He from the hood, but yeah, that dude a bad man. The dude is still like getting the fucking death shudders from getting his head knocked off his shoulders." And Snoop Dogg, yeah, he gonna be okay. He from the hood.
Both those boys are fucking idiots.
Yeah,
both the Paul brothers.
They're gonna get it. One of them is.
I can't wait.
But they're actually not. They're not bad, dude.
No,
they're not all that bad.
One of them challenged Ben Askren, and then Ben Askren accepted, and then they never said anything back.
Whoops. Whoops.
Ben Askren's like, I have nothing else to fucking do. I'm retired. What the fuck else you want me to do?
Sorry, my bad. I didn't need to do that.
He's an Olympic wrestler, so it's like,
yeah,
good fucking luck. May not be a boxer, but still, he's a professional fighter.
You're gonna get fucked up either way. This next site is Antavilla, Lithuania. God,
that's a weird one.
Antavilla. Some people are gonna write. Listen,
Antavilla.
I am so sorry about how I cannot read these words.
Yeah,
big words hurt me.
That's a hard one.
These are foreign words. I don't speak anything besides broken English.
We don't speak foreign.
We don't speak foreign. We speak bald fucking eagle. That's it. That's all we speak. Bald eagle. Less than 16 kilometers or 10 miles for our Russian friends from the Lithuanian capital of Vilnius is a mysterious former riding school in the village of Antavilla. According to the Washington Post, the school was converted into a jail by the CIA in 2004. You think you're going to riding school? Oh, you're going to riding school, all right. You're going to ride this motherfucking baloney pony.
Lithuania.
The report continued to state that the site was used to interrogate Al-Qaeda suspects who had been captured in Afghanistan. The report was purchased in 2000. I'm sorry. The property was purchased in 2004 by Elite LLC, a company registered in Washington, D.C. Locals described seeing U.S. contractors digging around the property, presumably hiding dead bodies, creating what they assumed was an underground complex beneath the main building. In 2009, unnamed former intelligence agencies agents told ABC News that the site at Antaville was operational for over a year, and that during that time it held at least 8 suspected terrorists within walls. In 2007, Elite LLC sold the property to Lithuanian government and then disappeared. I'm out of here.
Just like your baby daddy.
I like a boner in sweatpants. I'm out. Since then, the site has been used to train Lithuanian State Secret Service. This is probably my favorite one here. This is the USS Ashland, which is a fucking boat. It's like, we don't know, various locations. In 2008, The Guardian reported that human rights organization Reprieve, which claimed that the U.S. had admitted to holding at least 26,000 people in secret prisons, had discovered that's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
It discovered the U.S. was operating a fleet of floating prisons that spanned the globe. Reprieve's research pointed to at least 17 U.S. warships being used as secret CIA black sites. Among those ships was the USS Ashland, a Whidbey Island class dock landing strip that weighs 1,600 tons and measures 186 meters or 610 feet in length. The Ashland houses 500 U.S. Marines on board. I wouldn't want to go on that one either. Reprieve believes that the ship is connected to a series of abductions carried out by Somalia, Kenyan, and Ethiopian forces around 2007. The Guardian also stated that the United States previously admitted that the USS Bataan and the USS Palilu were also used as prison ships between 2001 and 2002.
How do you get captured by Ethiopian forces? Don't they weigh like 30 pounds?
You're like, wait a second, I got some candy in my pocket. John Walker Lynn, a.k.a. the American Taliban, is one of the most well-known detainees to sail on the United States secret prison fleet. I did not know that they were using like floating prison fortresses to house some of these guys.
It's pretty wild.
And kind of use them as mobile interrogation units. Fuck it, dude. I think some of these guys ultimately need to be brought to justice, but I don't think 26,000 people.
26,000, man.
Secret prisons.
Man,
We're going to call them CIA black sites because we want to keep the nastiest motherfuckers in the entire world put up in these things.
That's like a third of the amount of people that were.
It's all of Ethiopia.
That's all the finger poke of doom.
No.
It's all full circle.
It's all completely full circle.
Back to WCW.
This next one's Poland. It's Sterkiejekuty. Sterkiejekuty is a restricted military area in northeastern Poland that was used as a Nazi SS outpost during World War II. In the 1970s, the area was used by Polish intelligence officers, despite maps naming the site as a holiday resort. I'll be home for Christmas. In 2008, a Polish intelligence source revealed to the BBC that Sterkiejekuty's facilities were used by the CIA to detain and interrogate high-value detainees. The BBC, or the Big Black Cock, as we like to refer to it as, report stated that Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the so-called architect of the 9/11 attacks, had been interrogated in Poland, among other places. In 2014, former Polish President Alexander Kwasniewski confirmed that he had made agreements. So the fucking president of Poland said this, that he made agreements with the United States to allow the CIA to operate black sites in Poland during this time in office between 1995 and 2005. The same Polish president stated that a U.S. memorandum informed him that the detainees would be treated as prisoners of war and would be afforded the internationally recognized rights that come with such a designation. The sources who spoke to the BBC stated the Polish president likely had no idea what was really going on at the Sterkiejekuty base. This last one, this is not the last one. We have 2 more here. Yeah, I think this might actually be the last one. Then we have some torture techniques, and then we'll be done.
Cool. I'll take a leak after this next one.
Okay. This is the salt pit in Afghanistan. And a lot of our friends that listen to the show know about the salt pit, have heard of the salt pit, can probably speak of experiences they've had with the salt pit. But the salt pit, also known as the Cobalt, is a former brick factory located fucking goddamn.
Kabul.
Imagine that. You were just hanging out in Afghanistan. You get picked up by the U.S. government, U.S. CIA, and they take you to a goddamn brick factory. That's how you know you're about to have your shit fucked up all the way. You're about to have cigarettes put out on your butthole.
Yeah, no fun
you're
there.
You're going to put some Dr. Pepper and, and some DDP, and I don't mean diet Dr. Pepper. I'm talking about some deep dick penetration with that fucking first Dr. Pepper.
Getting some sand in your foreskin.
You're going to get a lot. Yeah, they definitely have foreskin there. They do not do any circumcising.
No doubt.
It's also known as Cobalt, as a former brick factory located north of Kabul in Afghanistan. In 2002, the site was converted into a detainee center by the CIA, which earmarked more than $200,000 for its construction. In 2012, the Daily Beast described the salt pit as the CIA's sadistic dungeon. Woo, that sounds fun.
That is fun.
In an article that examined a high-profile death which occurred at the site on November 20th, 2002, Gul Rahman died of hypothermia after being beaten, stripped naked, and chained to the floor during a freezing cold night. In 2014, the U.S. government declassified a U.S. Senate report on the CIA's detention and interrogation program. That report stated that no CIA officers were ever charged with the crimes relating to the death of Rahman. He's got wonderful noodles, though. Instead of, sorry,
I didn't know it got that fucking cold there.
Yeah, dude, it gets really cold in Afghanistan.
I didn't know that.
Really, really cold. Instead, 5 months after his death, the lead CIA officer who ordered Rahman be chained up was given a $2,500 bonus.
Wow.
For consistently superior work. Of the 119 detainees identified in the U.S. Senate report on torture, nearly half were detained at the salt pit in Afghanistan. At the dungeon, all right, this specific location, some guys probably listen to the show can tell us all about it.
Yeah.
The lights were never turned on.
Okay.
So the guys were always held in complete darkness. Curtains were used, and the windows were fucking painted from the outside.
Damn.
Detainees referred to this place as the dark prison. So when they would talk amongst themselves, the detainees would say, "Hey, did you go to the dark prison?" Because they didn't know it's called the salt pit or whatever.
Right.
It was called the dark prison.
That's so ominous.
It is very ominous. The CIA was alerted of allegations that anal exams at Cobalt were conducted with excessive force.
Oh my God.
Relax your butthole, boy. An attorney was asked to follow up, but no records indicate what happened next. God damn.
Wow.
Anal exams. This is where we're about to get really fucking good.
An anal print.
Agency records said that one of the detainees housed at Cobalt, Mustafa, I loved him in Lion King, Al-Hawasawi, was later diagnosed with chronic hemorrhoids.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anal fissures. Well, it's kind of like anal scissors, but not as sharp. What the fuck is an anal fissure?
I think it's when your asshole does this. It pulses.
It pulses like my dog's.
Like a strobe light.
Like it's just an old man grabbing his butthole. An anal fissure is a small tear in the thin, moist tissue. Oh God, there's the mucosa.
So it's a hole in the wet part of your ass.
Yeah, it's pretty much the like your butt, your actual the chute for your butthole.
Your ass wall's tearing.
Torn, yeah. So he was diagnosed with chronic hemorrhoids, anal fissures, and symptomatic rectal prolapse.
Oh man, so they ripped his asshole out of his body.
They gave him the old pink sock.
Pink sock, yeah. Oh.
Nude prisoners were kept in a central area and walked around as a form of humiliation. Detainees were hosed down while shackled naked and placed in rooms with temperatures as low as 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Loud music was played constantly, probably Nickelback or Creed. In one case, a detainee was dragged naked along the dirt road. Detainee Gul Rahman, he was the guy that died from hypothermia. His clothes were cut off, and CIA interrogators put a hood on Rahman's head. They slapped and punched him, and when he fell, they dragged him through the dirt. Rahman was later found dead with hypothermia as the suspected cause. One senior interrogator said that the detainees could go for days or weeks without anyone looking at them, and that his team found a detainee who had been chained in a standing position for 17 straight days. I would need to set my fat ass the fuck down.
Damn.
Some of the detainees at Cobalt or the salt pit literally looked like a dog that had been kenneled. The interrogator said cowering when doors to their cells would open. Like these guys were so
crazy.
fucking terrified of what was going to happen next. They would like cower on the ground and piss themselves when they'd hear their door open. A CIA debriefer told the agency's inspector general that she heard stories of detainees at Cobalt or the salt pit hung on days for end with their toes barely touching the ground, choked, being deprived of food, and made the subject of mock assassinations. You want to play the Lincoln game? I don't. What the fuck is a mock assassination? I don't get. I think actually, I did hear this. They would hold guns up to their heads and just like pull the trigger with no rounds. Click it up by their heads. Detainees there were subject to sleep deprivation, and Rob Dog would have died for sure.
Yeah,
they were shackled to bars with their hands above their heads. In fact, 4 of 20 cells at Cobalt were found to have bars across the cell to allow this. The mismanagement and abuse at the detention site Cobalt can be traced at least in one part to a CIA officer identified in the Senate intelligence report. He was identified as CIA officer number 1. This officer had no experience in handling prisoners or conducting interrogations.
Perfect person to leave in charge.
We're going to put this boy in charge. And other CIA officers had questioned whether the officer's access to the classified information should continue due to a lack of honesty, judgment, and maturity. He continued as a manager of Cobalt or Salt Pit until July of 2003. Self-described 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was also kept at the Salt Pit after his March 2000 capture in Pakistan. After just a few minutes of questioning at Cobalt, he was subjected to enhanced interrogation techniques. He was slapped, grabbed in the face, placed in stress positions, placed in standing sleep deprivation positions, and doused with waters. As means of obtaining total control over the detainee, the then chief of interrogation said KSM was subjected to rectal rehydration multiple times without a determination of medical need.
We're going to shove this water up your ass, boy.
No, it gets better. So I'm looking, I had no idea what rectal rehydration was.
They're just rubbing moisturizer on his asshole.
Well,
let me put the lotion on the butt.
In some instances, these guys would go on hunger strikes.
Okay.
And a lot of guys would do that in prison when I worked there too. They'd just be like, I'm not fucking eating. You know, this is my hunger strike. So as a means to work around that, at the Salt Pit or Cobalt, instead of saying, all right, go on your fucking hunger strike, dude, they would do what they call rectal rehydration.
Oh, yeah, you told me about this.
Where they would hook like a drip. They would hook an apparatus up to your asshole. It's supposed to be just water.
Right.
It's pretty much a butt chug.
Yeah.
We're pretty familiar with butt chugging.
Yeah, we are.
We coined the term butt chugging, and we brought Zima back. I don't mean to toot our own horns.
Yeah, definitely responsible for it.
But we are the butt chugging bros of Ohio. And if there's one thing we know a little thing about, it's butt chugging and rectal rehydration. So these guys would go on hunger strikes, and they wouldn't eat, they wouldn't drink. And these guys at the Salt Pit or Cobalt would say, we fucking got something for you, buddy. They hooked this apparatus, this tube, this drip up their assholes, and they would force the water and shit, and they would hydrate them via their buttholes and not have them drink the water or eat. To take it one step further, detainees were described in graphic detail being rectally fed against their will. So not only were they using water to rehydrate them, they are also putting processed food up their assholes.
Oh, God.
One detainee was bent over for a rectal feeding that involved Ensure, the protein drink, the protein drink. And in perhaps the most graphic detail of the report, a detainee had his lunch consisting of, sounds delicious, hummus, pasta, nuts and raisins, pureed, and rectally infused right through his fucking butthole.
Holy shit.
Please. No raisins. The last time I had raisins, I nearly shit my fucking guts out. So that's what they were doing to these guys that were kind of like, they wouldn't even in it. And I also read that it wasn't just for hunger strikes, to completely remove the satisfaction of these guys having a meal in their stomach, eating a meal. They wouldn't feed them like that. They would only rectally feed them.
Just shove it up their ass.
Just shove up their asses and make them take raisins and fucking.
Imagine shoving a cheeseburger up someone's asshole.
Dude, what if they gave you. My butthole would accept that very easily. It would be like you take a junior bacon cheeseburger,
Yeah.
and put it in my asshole. It would
Just
be like
open right up.
it would be like putting the winning quarter in a slot machine. I would be like ding 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 ding. Now where's the spicy nuggets? Where's my 4 for 4? I want that shit.
Oh man.
I can't of all the stuff like hummus. Probably some spicy ass
Hummus would be rough.
Yeah, I don't want any hummus. But
No, thank you.
But before we get into these techniques that they use, which won't last long,
Take another little break.
Rob has to go to the bathroom
I do.
very badly.
It's okay.
I'm gonna save it. Hummus is good. I like hummus, but that's because I kind of a big boy. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a big old boy. Happy New Year, everybody. I really hope you guys find peace and comfort in the new year. I hope that 2021 is a little bit kinder than 2020 was. Who knows? Who really knows? It's going to be a shit show for a while longer. But to everyone on the YouTube feed, I genuinely wish you nothing but the best for 2021. For sure.
I just saw a shitty kitty.
Yeah, there's definitely a shitty kitty running around out there.
Kitty. Thinking about it.
Kitty, 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 kitty. Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
There she goes.
Oh, there's that kitty cat. There's the pumpkin. She won't come to me to be picked up.
She won't.
She hates being picked up.
Poor thing.
She just wants to be petted.
Who doesn't like getting petted? Oh man. Damn it, pumpkin.
Okay. All right. I think you're going to be more poop behind that one. I don't know. Okay. All right. Rob Dog's back from his queef, his sit down pee session.
Yeah, you gotta sit down.
So we might not have covered all of the torture tactics that they utilize in speaking of torture tactics,
Sure.
that's one torture tactic that I would use if I was ever
Definitely.
involved with.
Definitely.
So there's a lot of different ones that we didn't cover of all the known. You've heard the ones of, I guess, prisoners of war in Vietnam where they'd shove like bamboo up your fingernails. And
Yeah, yeah.
that would be fucking terrible. You ever
That would suck.
shove something up your fingernail before?
Yep.
God damn, that hurts, dude. So some of these techniques, I'll let you, Rob Dog, you fucking take these. This sounds like a good job for
Sure.
You're a mental terrorist. So
Sure.
do this.
Let's see here. First, we got the Palestinian hanging. This sounds great. This form of torture is sometimes referred to as the Palestinian hanging due to its use by the Israeli government against Palestinians. It involves binding the prisoner's hands behind his back. Then, after fatigue sets in, the prisoner will inevitably fall forward, putting full body weight on his shoulders and impairing breathing.
That sounds miserable.
Yeah, if the prisoner is not released, death by crucifixion may eventually result.
No big deal.
Such was the fate of U.S. prisoner Manadel al-Jamadi in 2003.
See, it's not easy, is it, Rob?
Not at all. I hate doing these crazy names. Psychological torture. The number one criterion for torture light, this is what's called torture light.
Yeah. It's not, was it the, I can't remember what they called it, but the more advanced torture techniques.
Right. Is that it must leave no physical marks. Whether U.S. officials are threatening to execute a prisoner's family or falsely claiming that the leader of his terror cell is dead, a steady diet of misinformation and threats can be effective.
Could you, and that's like one, if I were ever in that situation, and if they walked in, kicked the door open, and they're like, Will Smith is dead. And they'd be like, oh my God, not Will Smith. Fucking, they start going through, because if they're ever like, without saying any names, if they're like some government official was dead, I'm like, okay, can I get that 2,000 now or what's up? Like, who the fuck is dead? Like, I don't fucking care. But if they kick the door in, they're like, Bradley Cooper is dead. I'm like, you motherfuckers. All right, I'm talking. Don't take him away from us. I'm talking now.
From there, we go to where we at sensory deprivation. This one would suck. Now, it's remarkably easy for prisoners to lose track of time when they're locked up in cells. Now, sensory deprivation involves removing all noise and light sources as well. Guantanamo prisoners were initially bound, blindfolded, and wore earmuffs. Whether prisoners were subjected to long-term sensory deprivation can still tell fiction from reality. It is a matter of some debate.
Some people pay a lot of money to do this shit.
It's true. I'm not about it.
You heard these sensory deprivation tanks
Mm-hmm.
where you can just go lie weightless in a fucking tomb.
Yep.
People pay big money for this, and they say it's the most euphoric thing.
It's like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, just not to be able to listen. I like the noise canceling feature on my AirPods. That's pretty cool. But I don't know about laying in a tube, just like floating, smelling, because I know I would definitely be able to smell.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I fart on myself, I'd know I was home.
Brandon Shaw would talk about every time how he gets in one, he jerks off every single time. You're in fucking salt water. What's it matter?
Have you ever heard there was? Sorry to get us off the rails here for a second.
Us? No way.
One of my friends at work today, he's talking about a number 3, which is apparently when you go to the bathroom and jerk off.
Okay.
I've never heard it called number 3 before.
Never heard that either.
But he, like, every time someone goes to the bathroom, he's like, "You going for number 3?" And then finally today, I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "Number 3." I was like, "Is that when you shit and piss?" Because everybody pisses when they shit. He's like, "No, a number 3 is when you go to the bathroom and you jerk off."
Huh.
And I just said, I have never heard it called that.
Yeah, never.
But I've done it.
Yeah.
I've never heard it called that.
I don't think that's a number 3. I think that's a number 4. Number 3 has to be like a diarrhea.
Diarrhea?
Because it's a piss. It's a watery shit.
It's a blumpkin.
It's a blumpkin.
If you've ever had a blumpkin, send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. Someone just asked on the YouTube thread if that's our real email. Yeah, brohiopodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. We don't just throw that out willy-nilly.
No willy-nilly around here. But he said, yeah, and I'm thinking like, it's not my favorite place to beat my meat is in the bathroom.
No, I mean, sometimes you just got to.
A lot more preferred.
You got to clear your mind.
You got to clear something.
Right.
So then I was telling him, I said, when I do that, I like to shit, and then I like to piss, and then I like to jack my dick, and then I get a handful of toilet paper.
What if you knock up your turd?
Dad!
Just a bunch of little turds jump out of it.
I know you dropped me off at the tree line, but I made it inside. I'm gonna need some food.
Maybe that's why I'd always clog up that toilet in the basement.
Open up a Capri Sun. I can really suck at putting the straw in the bag. No, but I said, yeah, dude, I do that sometimes. I do a number 3. He said, you like to jerk off in the toilet? I said, yeah, but I like to go to the bathroom, take me a good old salty piss, take me a big old goblin shit, and then I jerk off. He said, well, that's pretty fucking gross, dude. And I said, you know what I do then? I take a big old wad of toilet paper, and I reach under my ass, out the front side, and I start that toilet paper in my belly button from reaching under my body. And one swoop, I clean up the pee, the jism, and the poop all the way from the belly button. I wipe up to the small of the back, and I get all the fluids in one fair swipe.
Oh, God.
I don't need those fucking wet naps that you use on your butt, Rob Dog. I use good old-fashioned Charmin. We've got some Costco toilet paper, which feels like you're wiping your ass with a circular saw. But I don't discriminate against this shit because we're in a fucking toilet paper pandemic. People are buying up all the toilet paper. I can't be wiping my butt with stuff that's going to hurt me, but sometimes you got to make some sacrifices.
Dude, like I said earlier, I was at a indoor water park and I had to take a shit.
Shit in the water.
And I went to the bathroom, and of course I didn't have any wipes, so there was only toilet paper. And I was terrified of getting in the water and just a big brown mass of water coming up out of my ass.
Oh, Dad, I can't stop thinking about you getting your poop pregnant. Hey, down here, it's been trying to flush me and chop me up for about 4 or 5, 15 years. I was really hoping you could pick me up and we could bond sometime. Ever since you went out for milk and cigarettes, never came back. What does my mom look like?
Are you gonna give me some money for little Cornelius over here?
Just trying to get a fucking ride. Trying to get an Uber out of this fucking thing. I'm trying to get an Uber out of this pooper.
Man.
Yeah, we gotta go.
All right. Next, we got starvation and thirst. Maslow's hierarchy.
Get an Uber from this pooper.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs identifies basic physical needs as the most fundamental, more so than religion, political ideology, or community. A prisoner may be given just enough food and water to survive. It may take as long as a week before he appears physically thinner, but his life will come to revolve around the quest for food, and he may be more inclined to divulge information in exchange for food and water, which makes total sense. I'm a fat guy, so you take my food away from me, I'm gonna be doing anything for give me a quarter pounder of cheese. Sleep deprivation. Here we go. Studies have shown that missing a night's sleep temporarily drains 10 points from a person's IQ.
God damn, I never heard. I don't have that many to be given out. So
right, exactly.
You take 10 away, we got a negative balance. We're gonna get some overdraft protection.
Yeah, that's rough. Consistent sleep deprivation through harassment, exposure to bright lights, and exposure to loud, jarring music and recordings can drastically impair judgment and wear down resolve.
Master.
Waterboarding. So water torture is one of the oldest and most common forms of torture.
Okay.
It arrived in the U.S. with the first colonists and has cropped up many times since then. Waterboarding is its latest incarnation. It involves a prisoner being strapped down to a board and then dunked in water. He is brought back to the surface, and the process is then repeated until his interrogator secures information being sought. I thought it was exactly the way you explained. That's what I thought.
Yeah, for standing. My mom used to do this shit to me when I was a kid.
Yeah,
she's like, "You stand your fucking ass right there and don't fucking move."
So forced standing, most common in the 1920s. Forced standing involves prisoners standing in place, often overnight. In some cases, the prisoners may face a wall. Sweat boxes, sometimes referred to as a hot box or simply as the box. The prisoner is locked up in a small hot room, which, due to lack of ventilation, essentially functions as an oven. The prisoner is released when he cooperates. Long used as a form of torture in the U.S., it is particularly effective in the arid Middle East, and I would definitely assume that would be.
And I saw some pictures that these prisoners drew of the sweat boxes, and these are like the size of, like, if you order bowling shoes on fucking Amazon, that's the size of these fucking boxes they put these guys in. They have to kneel down and squat to get inside these things, and they'll keep them there for like days on end.
Fuck that.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Sexual assault and humiliation. Various forms.
Oh, I'm into that. My ears just perked up.
Various forms of sexual assault and humiliation documented in U.S. prison camps as forms of torture include forced nudity, forcibly smearing of menstrual blood on a prisoner's face, forced lap dances. Okay. Forced transvestitism and forced homosexual acts on other prisoners.
Could you imagine, like one of those motherfuckers from Saudi Arabia? They don't even let their wives show their foreheads, and you have a big old fat transvestite that looks like me, walks in and just starts giving them a lap dance, and halfway through it, he just pisses all over their lap.
Forced lap dance. I would have never thought that'd be used as torture.
No, absolutely not.
This one
depends on what you're into.
That's true. This one sounds terrible, and it just says insects.
Yeah, they were finding out. Again, I forgot to put the rest of the information with it, but they would somehow find out that whomever it was afraid of a certain kind of insect, whether it be scorpions or
spiders,
ants or spiders, and they would just bring in a big old bucket of whatever it was and just dump those insects all over.
That. Fuck that.
Are you afraid of spiders?
I don't like spiders. I'm not necessarily afraid of them.
Don't bother me at all.
I'm not a fan of like centipedes.
Yeah, insects don't bother me at all.
I mean, I don't freak out whenever I see them, but for some reason centipedes just weird me out. Like, nothing needs that many feet.
I would oftentimes eat worms to gain friendship as a child.
Yeah, I'm good with worms. Spiders, yeah, they're kind of weird. I don't really like them, but
I do not like snakes at all.
Yeah, see, I'm good with snakes.
Fucking hate snakes.
Yeah.
If we took your courage of snakes and my courage of spiders, we would be the ultimate male.
Exactly.
Combine us.
Yep.
We could. We would be unstoppable, essentially.
There's a reason that we're not like that.
Yeah, and I want to hop on this last one here. It's the Senate hearing we've talked about, and this is from December 9th of 2014. They released a 525-page document containing the key findings and an executive summary of the report and the CIA's detention and interrogation program. The remainder of the 6,000-page report remains classified. So out of over almost 7,000 pages, they redacted 6,000 fucking pages of this report. The report concluded that the interrogation techniques were far more vicious and widespread than the CIA had previously reported, that, quote, brutality, dishonesty, and seemingly arbitrary violence at times brought even CIA employees to moments of anguish. The report, yeah, fucking right.
I'm sure.
The report said that CIA officials had deceived their superiors at the White House, imagine that as well, members of Congress, and even sometimes their peers about how the interrogation program was being run and what it had achieved, which it's believed that these interrogation tactics and techniques did very little ultimately to make these prisoners sing. I don't know how many lives were saved by the interrogation tactics that the CIA used. I hope it was a lot.
You would hope.
I hope they're still fucking doing that shit too. Only to the bad terrorists, though.
Right? Not the good terrorists.
Just some guy selling fucking nudie DVDs on the side of the road. And
True.
Like, hook him up, pick him up, let's take him back. We're going to put cigarettes out in his butthole. So given the option to have one cigarette put out on your butthole or to be... so the big place around here that we like to get wings is Roosters. They got good-ass fucking hot wings.
They do.
So if you had to have a cigarette put out in your butthole or be rectally fed 10 hot wings, 10 boneless hot wings.
I was going to say the bones.
And an order of cheese and bacon wedges, which one would you rather have done? Declare yourself.
Fuck, man.
Rectally hydrated with 10 boneless hot wings, just hot. You can get hot garlic too if that's your flavor.
I think I got my answer.
What would you do?
I think I'm gonna take the burn on the asshole.
You'd be like fucking what's his name, Bugs Bunny with the fat nipples in the cartoon. He's like, ooh, it stinks. Like, it stings. Some people would probably be into that though.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I see it is that that would fucking suck, but one cigarette being put out on my ass, I mean that's gonna take what?
Yeah,
10 seconds at most to shove 10 wings up my asshole.
That'd be pureed.
Still,
your dad definitely used to put cigarettes out of your body, didn't he?
No,
that never happened.
That never happened, surprisingly.
Oh, do you ever walk into a lit cigarette before?
Yes, I have.
Dude, that fucking sucks.
It fucking sucks. Yes.
I'm thinking now I might change my choice because the hot wings aren't going to kill me.
That's true.
It's not going to wreck me that bad. I'd probably do the hot wings,
man.
Because, dude, like you think about it, like when you walk into a lit cigarette,
it does suck.
That fucking sucks, dude.
And then it itches when it's healing.
Yeah, because you got
so then you have an itchy asshole.
Tobacco. Oh man, have you ever had hemorrhoids?
No,
I don't think I really had them either. People will be surprised by that. Like that fat fuck definitely has hemorrhoids right now.
Yeah, I can't even tell you that if I know what a hemorrhoid is.
It's like a big old nugget that forms around your butthole and it starts bleeding and gets all itchy.
Thought it was like when your guts come out of your ass.
Yeah, and you got to push it back up inside of you. It's just like where it just starts to swell up and get all puffy.
Like your asshole itself?
Like when your dog's about to shit and you look at his butthole and it's all puffy and pushed out. You're like, oh, that dog's about to shit himself. That's what your butthole does when you have hemorrhoids.
Okay.
So it looks like a wrinkled up donut and it just gets all swell. It's like a parachute coming out of your, like a bloody parachute.
Sweet.
Coming out of your butthole. If you've ever had hemorrhoids and you weren't pregnant, send us an email, berhiopodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you were going through, what you used, what kind of, some people say you just got to sit on a donut. Sit on a donut. That's what helps with fucking hemorrhoids. Like a fucking Boston cream pie donut or like a cream filled Long John What kind of donut do you got to sit on?
One of those twisty ones.
I'd eat that.
Fuck yeah.
Even with the poop on it. I'll eat that.
It's not chocolate frosting.
All right. So anal fissures, rectal hydration, Dr. Peppers in your butthole.
Forced lap dances.
Foreskin. Liquid paper. We put liquid paper on a bee. It died. Black leather gloves. Safety. Security. All right. Prestige worldwide. What do you think about this one, Rob?
It's not surprising.
Not surprising at all. We're definitely getting interrogated tomorrow. Where did you get this information? I'm like, Lycos. Ask Jeeves.
You won't find it on Google. I'll tell you that much.
You dumb shit. I'd be that guy where they're like, where is she? And I'd be like, spit in their mouth.
Yummy.
Yeah. He was out back shitting along the tree line because he can't poop in the house. Keeps on getting his turds pregnant. What are we even talking about?
I don't know.
No, we gotta go. Tell them the good news.
I fucking love you guys. YouTube people, what's up?
Oh yeah, I gotta turn that one off too.
Yeah.
Hello. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.